Greetings and salutations, inmates. Tarill the Mad here. Glad you could join me again. First, I want to apologize for not getting this video up on Friday. I try to do my Magoocraft videos on Fridays. Well, failed. Had real life and whatnot kind of get in the way. So, I have been working on the jail, as you can see. There's now 4 levels. 2, 3, but this top floor is just open for now. I have an idea for it, but I'm not quite sure how to implement it yet. I've also been experimenting with wall enclosures. I kind of want to make this top area a a shower, because in most jails, penitentiaries, whatever, they have a large single room for the showers that everybody goes to. Here in your Come on, let me through the door. What, did I grow too tall or something? I've only been away a few days. How did I grow a Minecraft inch? Um, you have your toilet, your sink, your bed, your walls to put stuff up. Although with the bars there, it's not much. So, no pictures for you. Uh, yeah, I've been experimenting with doors, walls, lighting. That's actually glisten. I actually really like that. Used the chisel to change it, and then the forged microblock saw to cut it. Like that cover gives it a nice, tech look. So I've been working on those ideas. Let's see. Here are my glowstone covers. Now, I was experimenting with some walls, and I actually consulted. I have a design consultant. I'm sure I've mentioned him before. LittleMan V. Yes, LittleMan V give me some opinions about what I'm doing, and he says that this lighting is probably the most awesome thing he's seen for light, especially with going with kind of a modern fluorescent light type theme. And he really liked it, so I'm just flabbergasted that I came up with an idea good enough that LittleMan V actually liked it. And I always forget to do that when I log back in, and sometimes it's no big deal. But I forget, this pickaxe doesn't have much haste on it. I think it's my shovel and my mattock that has the haste it higher than level 1. But I was trying out different bars. I figured I'd cut up an iron block, and the problem with that is you have to do the bars top to bottom. And basically what I'm trying to do is limit your action. I really don't want you to jump over this. Because I'm going to be having flight turned off and stuff. I mean, this is a jail. You don't want your inmates to grab their visitors' flying apparatus and take off and get out of jail. Especially before I finish building the visitors' room and completely enclose it all in. I mean, I have an escape hatch down there for me. So I decided to go with some railings. The smooth stone's okay, and I tried block strips. I'm not happy with that, so I'm taking it down. And Lil give me an idea. He was like, "Well, why don't you use the block like you are here for the walkway, and make rails out of it? It looks kind of neat, kind of prisonish-y, with a great pattern." And I was like, "Yeah, but it kind of blends in with the iron. What do we do?" Started playing around with different. So I decided to pick colored cobblestone because it fits in with my theme of um, trying to use cobblestone for everything. So see, I love the Forger microblocks. You can always put everything back into just like that. Ta-da! Whatever this is, you just stick it in here in 2x2, and you slowly get it back to where it was, which is just awesome. But yeah, playing around with all the different blocks and stuff. So gotta, of course, I have more glowstone. I have more more of those. What is that? That's the colored cobblestone I'm using for the top. So, and of course, I got my iron bars. I might need to make some more. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I like the idea of having the open railing better. It gives you, you know, some freedom of movement. I need to make some more of let's, oh no, I got some right there, so I'll just cut it. Grab me a saw. And these saws, they used to be something else, I'm not sure what they were, but during my move, I had some, I guess ID conflicts, and they kind of corrupted, so. Take these out. What? Oh, I'm getting the graphical glitch again. I don't know why it does that. It's got to be one of my settings or something. And so, anyways, I haven't started on the visitor room yet. I know it's going to be through there. Um, I haven't decided how big it's going to be, what the walls are going to be made out of. Well, of course. Well, no, it's the visitors section. I know I'm going to have a hallway, kind of a drab, dull hallway that I'm thinking about 10 or so blocks long. Ought to be good. Um, that way it's far enough that, you know, an inmate can't see it from the cell, and it kind of separates it enough that I can essentially give it a completely different atmosphere. You know, a little less utilitarian, a little more friendly. Might go with a few more colors. I'm already out of black cobblestone. Good thing I've got plenty of cobblestone. Okay, let's just do 5 pieces. Trying to remember, was it that frequency or colored cobblestone block frequency? Okay, so that's this one. Alright, and then I'm going to take and we're going to cut this in the strips. Do the shift click just to make it quicker. Let's see, was it there or no? That's post. So take it all the way down the covers, and then depending on where you put it in here is, you know, to get some of the other crazy shapes. And see, I was looking up the forged micro blocks over here. Like, let's see, come on, where are they at? I know they're in here. These covers with the holes in the middle. You have to take these covers and do this in a 3x3, and it gives you 8 of those. That's pretty neat. And you know, you've got other shapes too. Well, maybe not necessarily shapes, but sizes of stuff. You know, the bars you have posts. Then you've got these nooks, and then there's ones that are slightly larger than nooks. Here you got corners. That's still corner. And then you've got these notches. And then, of course, you get the strips, which are the really small ones that I'm making now. Because, you know, there's that. And then you've got, there's also, here, a post, which is like 2 notches. Or 2 strips. And then you've got pillars, which is like 4 of them. And then, you know, back to all that. And, oops. Give me back my, there we go. And, of course, you know, you can, here, I'll show you. Go ahead and put it down. See, that's a strip. I place it down. Well, I place it again. Now it's a post. Again, becomes a strip. Pillar. You know, place it again. Wow, that's a really big fat strip. You know, post. Strip. And then, you know, start putting stuff on it. Of course, you can just, like that. And then now I gotta figure out how to get this pillar back down to a strip. There we go. Haha. So, it's pretty easy. The hardest part is figuring out exactly where you want, and then placing the stuff. If you notice, here, that you see it real good there. You've got this funky grid. You got the big square in the middle, and the sides, and depending on, you can see how it's the strips flipping around. See, I can lay it down there. I can stand it up. I can lay it down. You know, it all depends on what surface of the block you're looking at and what's already placed. And so, you know, now the whole reason for this railing is because, you know, not just to kind of limit your movement, but also, you know, you don't want your inmates getting in a fight like when it's time to go to. See, I don't know where the stairs are coming up yet. You know, you don't want to send everybody back to their cells. You don't want them getting in fights, you know? That'd be bad. Throw somebody over the edge, you know. 2-3 story fall, that can kill someone. Alright. Now, I am not going... I was playing around with... I love carpenter blocks. They are awesome. But they can also cause lag. And I figured out there's almost 1,000 if I do all these walls. You know, and that's just... That's not good. I want this to... Well... I mean, for the people that are stuck here during discipline time, it's not as big of a deal if they lag out. And the way I understand how the jail works and the plugin that allows it, if you get put in the jail, you're stuck there until your time's up. So if you get put in, say for, and this is an example, this is by no means the amount of time that punishment will be, but say break the rules, get in trouble, you get stuck in jail for 12 hours, okay? It's not 12 Minecraft hours, and it's not, well, you know, why do I have I better cut that sucker apart. There we go. And it's not like, oh, well, you know, I won't play on the server, you know, for 12 hours. I'll just come back in 12 hours and my time will be up. Like it is with a mute and a ban. You know, with a ban, you don't want the person on the server. That's why, you know, they stay off. But I've noticed a lot of people, if they get muted for swearing and whatnot, they'll just go ahead and log off till their mute time is over. Well, jail doesn't work that way. No. The way it works, if I read it all correctly, is when you're placed in jail, you are stuck there until your time is up. That does not mean you can log off and come back 12 hours later. It has to be 12 hours of playing time. That is how long you're stuck in jail. And I was floored by that. I was like, wow, that's just such a amazing thing, you know, because everything else, the timers, it's, you know, real time as it passes. It doesn't matter if you're in game or not. Which, you know, for some things, yeah, it's fine. But oh, why'd you do that? I don't know. I don't know if it's a inventory tweaks glitch that gets me, or if it's just me hitting my mouse button wrong. But oh, yeah, see, there's this step up from. There we go. Well, yeah, if you guys like this, I'm using slabs. I don't know. I'll be changing. It's just easier to build in cobblestone and then change it later. But I'm using slabs. I'm doing kind of a spiral staircase thing, and then I can put like bars here going all the way up. And then, so you can come up here like this, or you can keep going up the steps to the next floor. And I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. So, I like that. I didn't even realize. Okay, I'll do that for the other side too. Unless, you know, someone comes up with comments or posts in the forums for this project, and you have a better idea, by all means, you know, or think you have a better idea, let me know. If I use it, I'll give you credit, give you a shout out in my video when I change it. Oh, darn it, happened again. Why does that keep... It's maybe it's a mouse issue. I get some USB extender cables to get my mouse and keyboard exactly where I want them, and sometimes I'll hit the cord with my foot, you know, while you're sitting there in your chair or whatever. You gotta move your feet and legs on occasion. You start to feel cramped. So, and I kick it and makes the connection loose, and then I get funky little problems like my keyboard will quit working. Luckily, it hasn't happened yet while on camera. Alright, now, I'd already decided I really like those lights up. If you use the F7 from NEI, which, you know, turn on now, you can't see, you don't see any. Oh, like right there in that cell, see the X's? That means mobs can spawn in here. So I figured out if I go dink dink, looks like a fluorescent light like what you'd see in a small room. Keeps monsters from spawning. I mean, jail's supposed to be a cruel thing, but I don't want to be sadistically cruel. Okay, now I decided with LittleMan V's help, and I think Mav51. Oh yeah, there's one of our permanent residents, and I think Mav51 suggested it. That's MOV51. Suggested it when I first started this and was showing off. Like in the video, I only had my first couple of cells built. He suggested that I find a way to make the front of the cell a little more open, not closed in, so you can see people better. So I'm going to have to use carpenter blocks for that, because that is the only way. And here, and I'll show you exactly the reason why. You know, this is your, when you place your standard iron bars, you know, it's fine for just an opening, places in the middle of the block. But when you add a door, and it's any door, it doesn't have to be just a carpenter, you get this funky looking, you know, the textures, the blocks don't connect, which just doesn't look right. So what you have to do is find another way to do it. Well, you know, can't cut it like an iron block, making the strips didn't look right, so you use a carpenter block. There you go. And now you have the front of your jail cell. Ta-da! Door works, unless you're like me or other YouTubers and run into the door frame trying to get in and out. See, red X, yellow X, want to get rid of those. Gone. But you have to do it in every cell, which is fine. You know, that's how everything is. Yeah, you guys may recognize that player. Oliver, you know, misunderstanding a simple request. Had to blow it out of proportion and upset the owner of the server. Not a good idea. Yes, he wants people on here. He wants people to have fun, enjoy their time, but you know, still gotta follow the rules. He is the owner. Okay. Enough of that. Oh crud, I just knocked down a light. See, ripping through cobble, this is fast enough. The glove makes it almost too fast. Oh, yeah, I need to vote. I wonder if our dev Chrono has got the... we've been having some issues with the voting. I guess some settings on the server hardware had to be changed, and it's now conflicting with how the voting was set up. I don't know all of it. I'm not in the loop when it comes to some of that server maintenance. That's the Chrono. He's the hardware guy, and he's the one that, you know, sets up, maintains the hardware. Oop, I put that first one in the wrong place. I like glowstone as these because they still, you know, give the lights. See, I'd rather use the anti-blocks because they look so much cooler, but when you cut them down, they stop giving off light. So, but yeah, we have 7 voting links, and guess that's a cobblestone with panel. That's, there we go. I need a bunch more of these. But the voting links, you know, we have 7 of them, and I think the max rewards you could get is like 5, or 2 of them wouldn't give rewards for some reason. Oops. That's the block I want to use to replace. I love these exchangers. But oh. And anyways, you used to be able to get 5. Well, a couple of the links have decided that they wanted to break. It's like, ugh. I vote every day. Well, almost every day. LittleMan V tries to vote every day. I know the rewards aren't much at this point. But you know, 50 economy dollars to get you started until we figure out exactly what we're gonna do with the server money. And you know, and I know if you've already had an island for a while, you don't really need food or yes, I definitely like those walls better for the cells. Oh, and I ran out of blocks. I knew that you know, a couple of pieces of um, bread and a sapling and whatnot aren't very good for a reward, but you know we're still new. We're gauging what to do, what kind of rewards to give, but you also have to realize that you get actually a pretty awesome thing. I know it can be hit or miss with rewards, and one of our players has gotten more stone from a lucky block opening than even me, and I thought I had horrible luck with stuff. Yeah, I know your cell's night. You better stay there. You're in trouble still, mister. You know, but like when I had to restrict the wither skulls while I was fixing the wither arena, the lucky blocks actually helped a few people. They were able to get wither or nether stars, not withers. Oh goodness, I don't know what we'd do if a wither spawned that way. Yikes. I'm gonna go ahead and decorate my doors because they're staying. And it's one less item in my inventory. Yeah, I know they have the glass in it and it doesn't look great. Actually, as a matter of fact, person who just logged off, Shadow Soldier, got a couple nether stars from Lucky Blocks. And I think he's the one that has gotten mostly stone from them. So, yeah, shout out to you. I'm not telling him he's on camera because I'm getting close to where I want to end. But that's what's been going on. Real life kind of slowed me down. Was able to talk with my design consultant. He was able to give me some more hints. Really like the smooth walls. He's the one that told me to use these big cobblestone tiles for the floors. Which, you know, and I'm digging it now. It's starting to come together. The hard part is I want to build most of this on camera. You know, I kind of know what I'm doing. You know, and I even took a hint from a YouTuber I've watched a lot, Dan TDM. I'm not sure if he does it, but I've heard him always talk about it. You know, I need to make notes, or I got notes off to the side. Well, you know, I've got some notes I can look at. Okay, I've mentioned the visitor room. I'm gonna have a small hallway. It's about 10 blocks long. It goes to it, probably a 3x3 hallway. You know what? No, I think I'll make it a 5x5 hallway. That won't be too big, but then you won't feel like you're closed in. I'll just make it longer than 10 blocks. Well, I really need to work on these steps, but I'm probably going to run out of time because I decided to do something else. And I'm working on the walls, which is in my list of things to do. I know this isn't. Oh, and I ran out of my. Come on. See, that's the thing about the exchanger. It doesn't just change stuff into it. It swaps one type for another, which is just awesome. Although, looks like my exchanger's getting low on power. Oh, 2.59. I should have enough for. Yeah, I'll just have to go back to my island and. Oh, crud. I haven't been on my island for a few days. I bet you my power system ran out and turned itself off. I'm having a problem with the spot loaders, and I think I'm just gonna get rid of them and add a couple more bedrockium barrels to the. See, I can't get out, and this is my jail. Help! I'm stuck in jail. Just taking a look to make sure I got everything. I hate it when I run out of blocks or my exchanger runs out of power. That's what stops you. Let's see, what was I talking about that? See, it's kind of hard to keep track of what you're doing if you don't have notes on what you just started talking about. Let's see, the exchanger, the blocks. Oh, the steps. Yeah, working on the walls. My power at my island. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what the deal is. The spot loaders aren't working right, or I did something wrong, set it up, whatever. But basically, my power generation, I've been using steam boilers from Mine Factory Reloaded, and I've got a bunch. I need to really start clearing them out. They're creating lag. I'm getting to the point where I need more power than what they're providing anyways. Oh, I must be out of. Yep. I'm running out of power. I can't get my wireless hooked up because it sucks so much juice to be able to access my ME system from anywhere on my island that even if my and I've got enough battery capacitors set up that I've got like almost 10, is it 10 billion or maybe 100 million RF, and it'll go through it in just a few minutes. It's insane how much it eats. It's like, wow. So wireless is really good. Just the more area you want covered by it, the more power it takes. So I've got to come up with a better way to do that. What I could start doing, I could just go on a tear and go after a bunch of withers. You know, I got more than enough of magical crops stuff to make a bazillion withers. The only problem is I'm not very good at defeating them. So they hand me my tuchus even with my magical armor. And I know everybody enjoys watching me die on camera. So if I do some wither fights, I'll make sure to try recording them. I still don't know about doing the editing and whatnot, because right now all I have access to is the YouTube editor, and it's okay for like beginning, but it's problematic getting it to do exactly what I want. Had to scrap a couple of ideas. It's just like, I'll try sticking with the one and done thing. I know back in the day when everybody got started on YouTube, that's what everybody did. You know, so it's not like I'm being nostalgic or anything. It's just lack of resources. So, all right. Well, I've showed you guys what I'm doing for this main part. I just got to finish it up. Kind of run out of things to talk about. You know, my railings, my lighting, pretty much finished the walls for all the cells. Although I should probably go ahead and do that section too. No, if I'm gonna turn those in the showers, I'm gonna make their walls slightly different. Oh yeah, and I've picked an outside wall tile. That's this one, and the roof. It's those two I didn't quite like very much. LittleMan V pointed out it's this one, the cobblestone 978 aligned cobblestone bricks, and then the 9782 detailed cobblestone bricks. They're close enough, but they look slightly different. We used the detailed ones in the ceiling, and used the aligned cobblestone here in the walls. He felt that that gives it a very jail-like feel. So whatever isn't smooth for the cells, or I'm just gonna go ahead and take those into the shower area too. That'll save me a little bit of hassle for design techniques. And you know what? I figured I'm not gonna build out anymore this way. This is gonna be the wall right here. Okay. If I decide to turn this into, and there will be a carpenter door right there. It's gonna be a, well, if I can get the steps to line up. So that will be, I forgot I have a crafting table over here. I need one door, carpenter door, so I can make it, ta-da! It's just like a regular door, but use carpenter blocks instead of planks to make it. And then gotta get my bag out. And then hit it with the hammer. There's our, oh crud, that's not going, I'm gonna have to at least put one row of blocks there, which I can go ahead and do now. Ooh, I forgot I had this to really smooth this. Yep, I'll use that. And go ahead and power placing blocks with Tarill the Bad next on ESPN. And ESPN is their own trademark and copyright. It's just the first TV station that popped into my head. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, I'll figure out some kind of wall to put here. Ooh, goodness. If I do that, that's going to be a lot of carpenter blocks if I do this whole wall that way. And I will just do, this is why these blocks are cool. See, I got that edge, and then, oh, no, better yet, I don't have any on me, and I'm already over, I like keeping these about 30 minutes, I'll piddle sticks. I don't have any glass on me. I can make glass panes and just go up to the ceiling, and that way you can see in, but there's still a wall. Ah, good idea, Tarill, good idea. Alright. Well, with all that, as you can see, I've still got some work ahead of me. Hopefully for my next video, it'll be more in the way I'll do the tunnel, and we'll figure out some styling for that. I will probably go ahead and start setting up the stuff that I need off camera, because it involves a bunch of commands and stuff, and I find that boring to do, let alone to show. And that, and just on the off chance that any of the people that get in trouble and get sent to jail know any hack or override commands or something that I don't know about with my protections. So, alright, let's see, I got all my doors changed to plain. Oh, no, I missed a couple. So, yeah, I'll do that off camera. I've kind of shown you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna put our permanent residence in random spots. I was using that one for testing. He's gonna stay there. I just might move him closer. Next video, when I do this, I'm gonna show you guys how I made the Decocraft stuff. And then of course we'll make a bunch of beds. Mental note: use spider essence to make string to make wool. Sheep's crash server, and not in a fun way. The last time it crashed the server, it caused the deep dark to corrupt, and we had to reset it for everybody. Not good. So yeah. So I'll be making beds. I gotta make sure I have enough spider essences to make the wool, because I'm gonna be making a buttload of beds, or what was it? A buttload ton, I think is what I heard somebody said. I found that amusing. You know, that could have been LittleMan that said that. LittleMan V, yeah. Anybody who's watched my videos or talk to me knows my connection with LittleMan V. Sorry about that. I had some stretch and yawn. Alright. Well, this is going to be it. I want to thank you guys for joining me. And again, if you have any suggestions, feel free to place them down in the comments. These particular videos I'm going to be keeping a good eye on. Even if you're not from the server, you happen to come across this and you have some ideas that you think might be good, feel free to hit me up with them. But just remember, most of all, you have to keep it polite and family friendly. That's my channel. That's how I want to keep things. I know everybody knows curses, can't curse and everything, but I don't like to expose children and that kind of thing, especially other people's children. So please respect my wishes and do the same thing, whether it's in my comments, emails, on the website, in game. If you happen to catch me in TeamSpeak, please, please, please. This is all family friendly. Let's keep the swearing out. You don't need it. If you have to, come up with something silly to say. It's more of the emotion you're trying to express, not the word. That's why I use things like credsicles or G-Manetly, or my new favorite one, which I actually made a macro. Holy two-headed cows of Atlantis. So, wow, nobody on the server today. I picked a good time to record. With all that, this is Tarill the Man. I want to thank you for visiting my asylum and the insanity that is the stuff that is in my head. Remember, Minecraft, it's just a game. So, have fun, build big, and most of all, behave. And with that, goodbye!